Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am Maria Morales, Business Engagement Consultant Lead with IowaWORKS here in Marshalltown. I am co-presenting today with Nikki Litzel, who is the Business Engagement Consultant in Waterloo. We are hosting this live training today to help with the transition from Teach Iowa to IowaWORKS. IowaWORKS website is robust with a lot of features for both the job seekers and employers. We will be going over some highlights of today's website and allow some time for questions at the end. If you do have some questions, please put them in the chat and we will go over them at the end of the presentation. We did allow some time for questions. Following today's training, there will be an opportunity for you to connect with your local business engagement consultants. If you don't know who that is, at the end, we will also put a contact information for you to contact so we can let you know who your local business engagement consultant is. And just to go over a few details of that agenda. So we're going to have an overview of IowaWORKS, how you can sign in, update your profile, post some jobs, and then go over some powerful tools that IowaWORKS has. So this is just the homepage when you log into IowaWORKS. Just to give you a quick overview, the website is iowaworks.gov, and it'll look like this. And you'll have a sign in button on the right-hand corner. All the school districts already have an account, already have an account registered. So you don't have to register your community school district since you already have an account. If you do not know your login information, you can contact your local business engagement consultant and we can help you get that information for you. And then on this homepage, you can also see current openings. So right now, these are the current openings that we have. You can also see updated unemployment rates. And then also it has an indicator to explore education-related careers opportunities. So if a job seeker wants to look and see what openings we have currently for educational opportunities, we can click that icon right there and it will take them straight to all the different openings. And then also this like your navigation bar, it's at the bottom of the page, and this helps job seekers look for different job postings without having to be logged in. Once you find the job postings that the individual wants to apply, then they will be prompted to log in so they can apply. But they don't have to log in or have an account to just see or view the openings. It also has a tab for employer services and different tools where you can do as an employer, as a school district, like finding a candidate, posting a job, different incentives available, and additional services. You can also view the labor market information as well. Okay, now I am going to introduce you to Nikki, and she will be covering the first part of this training.
Thank you, Maria. As Maria said, my name is Nikki Litzel. I am the Business Engagement Consultant in Waterloo, and I'm going over how to basically sign into your account and work on posting jobs. So as Maria had mentioned, all of our school districts already do have accounts set up in IowaWORKS. If you have not accessed the account yet, you will need to contact either somebody at your business engagement consultant can help you get in, or if somebody from your school has already gotten that information, they can help you get in as well. So I'd start with I guess seeking out someone on your team at the school district to see if they have logged in, and if not, you can reach out to your business engagement consultant. Because our website is pretty secure, you do need to go through several steps the first time you do get into the account. So we're going to walk through that a little bit. You will need to know your username, and again, your business engagement consultant can get that to you. Once you have the username, you'll need to also know the phone number, the zip code, the security question, and the security answer that are tied to that account. Those things you might think you know the phone number or the right zip code, but It's actually whatever phone number or zip code is in the system at the time. Those all have to match exactly at the time you log in. So this gives you a little bit of an idea of what the screens will look like once you type in the username, and then you can go to retrieve your password is the next step, and it will ask you again to type in the zip code and the exact matching phone number. And then you will need to know also the security question and the security response, which we do have a default security question and response if it's your first time logging into the system. So you'll need to know those things as well. And then after you get through all of those different 5 questions, then it will ask you to reset your password. And as with many other passwords you may use, there are certain rules on numbers of characters, upper and lower case numbers and symbols, and that is all explained there in the blue. Once you are in, you will see your employer dashboard that looks something very similar to this. And you are able to set up your employer dashboard how you want it to look, to be most accessible to the things that you will use most once you're using the website. And so if we can advance to the next slide, I'll show a little bit how you're able to change. We call them widgets. And so you can pick the things that you want to be seen on your employer dashboard by this menu of items, and you can move them around and configure your dashboard how it works best for you. Keep in mind, this is a website that multiple employers use throughout the state. And so as a school district, a lot of these widgets may apply to you, and some of these widgets may apply to other employers who have different types of employment opportunities. And then once you are in the website, this is your general information page that is available. And this is where you would update any changes that if you would want to have your primary location information plugged in on this general information tab, and your primary contact, who's going to be the main person who is in charge of the website overall. As you can see, going across the top, there are options to add locations and other contacts and users and their own login and contact information as well. So as a school district, sometimes school districts have an administration building that they put their information in. So that would probably most likely be this general information tab, and then you can add all the other school locations under that next tab after that. Once you are in, this is also still on your main page of employer general information. We wanted to share this with you. It's a really neat feature of IowaWORKS where you can create your own company profile. There's a text box, and this gives an example of some text that you could put in the company profile box. And then once you have that information in, you get a tiny URL that is unique to you and your account that you can copy and paste anywhere really that you want people to be able to access your company profile. And that on the right hand side shows a little bit of what it might look like depending on what you put in. You are also able to add your logo, which down underneath the tiny URL, it's a edit employer summary profile image. And that is where you can pull in your school district's logo, and that would actually pop up on that profile page where you see the apple. If you put a logo in there, that's where your logo would appear. And then again, the name of your school and a little bit of information about your school. And then all of your open positions are available underneath that. And then I mentioned that second tab where you add locations. So this is the next tab over. And you can add in all of the different school locations that you have available that might have job openings tied to them. So if you are looking for an elementary school teacher, you would have an elementary school listed, and then you could actually tie in that job posting to that specific location where that elementary school teacher is needed. And then this is where you add the contacts and users. And again, they can be principals, secretaries, administrative, whoever you want to be as contact that would tie back into your job posting. This is where you would add those contacts and users under that tab. And then with those contacts and users as the primary contact, you are able to give them certain privileges. And you can give them all privileges, and you can see there's a box to select all, or you can be selective in what privileges you'd like those different staff members to have. You can allow them to post jobs or only just allow them to just see the jobs and get updates as they get applicants. And you can, there's lots of different privileges that you can allow the contacts and users to have as the primary contact. Now we're going to talk about managing job orders. And I know as you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box and we'll get to those after we go through, and we may actually answer some of your questions as we go through the entire presentation. So under managing your job orders, in your dashboard, there's several different ways that you can access this way of managing and posting jobs. And that is actually, again, on your dashboard, you'll see manage jobs. And then once you click on manage jobs, it'll bring up a few other options that say view current job orders, edit, delete, or copy current job, add new job order, view applicants, or search by job criteria. And this is what it looks like on the next page of under manage job orders. In this case, a job order is already posted, so you will see that job order there. And note there is a green button at the bottom of the page that says add new job order. There's also a way to copy the job, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but there, once you have a job in the system, a very easy way is to copy that job and go in and make edits and changes to that job, and a lot of that main contact information would still be there, and then you can just update and copy the job and post the new job that you copied. So this shows you a little bit of ways to, I guess, get some archived job orders. So if you have a job that has been expired, you can click on, again, a couple of different options, job filter criteria to look at any expired jobs, and that'll bring open another window. Or you can say show all jobs, including inactive and expired, and that will add many more to your list. And you can scroll through and look at the inactive and expired jobs along with your open positions. But another way to do that is the job filter criteria. Yeah, click on that plus and it will let you have lots of different options to choose what jobs you want to see. Once you click on create a new job order, it will take you to this page that gives you a couple of options as well, which is minimal data entry, which is kind of a basic job order if you're kind of wanting to just cover the basics of a job order. If you want to do a more custom job order and do a more step-by-step data entry process, have more custom settings available, you're able to do that. And then, as I mentioned, you can click copy existing job order, which we kind of just talked about, where you can copy an existing job that's either active or inactive. You're able to copy either one of those and then build that new job order from that. For today's purposes, we're actually going to show you the manual entry custom job order, which is more of a custom job order that has more data entry and step-by-step. When you go to create your job order, you will want to keep the job title simple and use keywords that job seekers would use to find your job opening. Then you would select the occupation based on your job title, and that's what that window is here. And you can see that there's lots of different ways you can pick the job occupation and by keywords, and then You can see we plugged in education, so you would have different teachers that you could pick from, depending on, again, what that occupation is. If you have an internal job ID number, that's something where it says agency job ID. If you have an internal job ID number, you can put that number here to establish which job it is for your company. I'm not aware that many school districts would use this internal number, but if there's ever a specific internal job agency ID that you want to assign to that, you may you can assign your own number to that job order. Otherwise, anytime you create a new job order with IowaWORKS, it generates automatically a new job order number for your job. From there, you decide which information you'd like to have displayed online. This is where you can decide what you want to be seen by job seekers, things like your company name and worksite address. This is also where you list the number of positions, earliest and latest date to display the job, whether it's full-time and part-time. There's also a question about remote work and maximum number of applicants that you will accept. Next, you'll go to the job description where you have a few options. You can write your own, copy and paste from an existing job description, or you can insert sample text that is detailed or in a summary based on the occupation that you chose. If you choose the sample text, you can still edit it or customize what you want to appear to applicants. The next option is to select the skills required for the job. You have options to choose default skills for the occupation, copy again from an existing job order, choose from a list of available skills, or not list any skills. You can also add tools and technology skills that may be required for the job, including a specific work key score. And if you click on, there's a kind of a link there that explains what work keys are. And some, again, employers may require that people do some tests with work keys and enter those scores and have those as part of the application process. And here's an example of some general skills you may require by simply checking the boxes. This is where you can add hiring requirements such as drug screening, reference checks, COVID-19 vaccine, or others. Some occupations may require minimum age, education, or experience, and you can fill that in this section. We've also, being in education, there may be some licenses or certifications that are required for certain occupations. In this section here is where you would add that information. Does it require a license or certification? And then you can put in the box what that certification is. Though it's not required, it is highly recommended that you include the wage range on your job posting. You are over 40% more likely to get an applicant by listing the wages and benefits for your job opening. The slider bar is a helpful tool to let you know how your salary range compares with similar job openings, and that is pulling in labor market information. Nearing the end of your job order is connecting with the job seeker through the application process. IowaWORKS allows several options for you to get responses from candidates. The most common and recommended option is through an IowaWORKS or uploaded resume. You can check multiple boxes with this application process and edit the contact information, whether it's via email, postal mail, phone, or in person. You can also input your company's online application. If you have an online application on your website, you can do that. And then if there is further explanation needed for job candidates on how to apply, there's an opportunity to provide a brief description of the application process in this text box here. If you prefer to do any additional screening of applicants, you can add questions to your custom job order, as you see here. And you can require a response or make it optional for them to respond. The last part of your job order is choosing to upload it to the National Labor Exchange, which helps the job to be more visible and gets it shared publicly with other websites. So you want to, if you're interested in having it out on the National Labor Exchange, you will need to check that box. Then just a few other optional questions about the job. Again, this applies mostly to other employers, but is it green, federal contractor, enterprise zone? And you just go ahead and check those boxes as well. And then a final save at the bottom of the page, and you'll be done with that job order. One thing to note is once your job is posted, it is seen only by veterans for the first 24 to 48 hours. That is a Jobs for Veterans Act that mandates priority of service to veterans seeking employment and training opportunities. We've had several schools ask if that could be changed or modified, and with IowaWORKS, that is the policy that all jobs that are posted within the first 24 to 48 hours are seen only by veterans because, again, they have priority of service. We've had a few schools who say, okay, I posted a job and then I went in looking for it as a job seeker and I don't see it. If you kind of wait that 24 to 48 hours, then you will see it because, again, it's only seen by anybody who registers as a veteran. And you can see on the screen there that veterans are designated by that little flag next to their name when they apply for jobs with us. But after 24, 48 hours, it is seen by everybody. We've also had questions about how to archive their jobs or how to make it not visible once it's filled. And this is where you go under your job order window. You can see there's, that's where the status column is, and you can click on right now that if it says open and available, you can click on that blue line and it'll go down to that window there that says update job order status. And then you'll have some options to close the job. You can say employer filled position, you could put it on hold, and you can say it's no longer available if things change. So that's where you can change the status of your job. And it doesn't actually get deleted by doing that. It's still in the system and still accessible by you. It just doesn't make it open and visible to job seekers anymore if you choose a different option. Now we're going to talk about how jobs can be spidered or indexed via IowaWORKS, and Maria is going to share a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Nikki. So some schools have asked how they can view your job postings, because if your job postings are what's called spidered or indexed in, sometimes you won't see them on your actual profile. Once you log into IowaWORKS and you look under job orders, you won't see them, but we're going to show you how you can find them just to make sure that they are in IowaWORKS. So when you go to IowaWORKS, and for this part, you don't have to sign in. So this is before you even sign in at the homepage. There's going to be an option at the bottom of that homepage says find a job. What you're going to do is click on find the job, and then it will take you to another screen that looks like this, where it says job title company. For this example, I did like Boone Community School District, so I just did Boone Community. The less the better. I found that out that sometimes if you put the full names, sometimes it doesn't bring all the different accounts or job orders. But if you just do like Boone Community, and then the other thing you have to make sure is that you click where it says check all. Before that, only certain different sources are checked, but if you check on check all, that will mean that you want to see all the job postings with all the different sources, and we'll go over what those sources mean. So once you do check all, then you'll get to a screen that lists all the different job postings. And then some of them you may notice that it's the same job and it's in there twice or more than twice. but that's because they're entered from different types of sources. So on the left-hand side, you'll notice that for this specific example, there was 3 different sources. There was 38 jobs from the private job board, 10 from a job distributor, and 2 preferred employer. And down here, kind of has like a little key of what it means. So look, a preferred employer, it means that a staff entered the job order, whether it's a staff member from IowaWORKS or a staff member from your school. And that will look like this, like right here, like for this bus driver, as you see, it says preferred employer. So that's because somebody, a staff member entered that. Then you'll have a job distributor. Job distributor can be different sources. It can be from Indeed, ZipRecruiter, etc. So if you see this example here, is we got this job posted from a job distributor, which was from Indeed. And then we have one from the National Labor Exchange and then private boards. So for private boards, it'll say right there, private boards. So this is really important to remember. There are several school districts that your jobs will automatically be transferred into IowaWORKS if they're indexed in through the National Labor Exchange, or maybe they're being spidered in via a different website. I know for those that still have School Spring, all of those are being indexed in, and you won't see them once again when you log into IowaWORKS and go under job orders. You won't see them there because they're being indexed in. But once you go, what I just showed you, you will be able to see all the listings there. Now we're going to go over different powerful tools that IowaWORKS has. So one of them is searching candidates. So Nikki was showing you, once you create a job order, how you can copy that job order. Well, in this same section, you can also search for individuals. So let's say this is a teacher position, and we want to go ahead and start looking for some resumes. We can click either search by job criteria, which means that we'll be able to, the system will automatically bring up resumes of all those individuals in your system that meet your minimum requirement. So let's say you indicated that they needed to have, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, and maybe have a certain type of certification. Whatever you're indicated, you'll get all of those resumes. So you won't have to do an additional search. You can just click search by job criteria, and all of that will bring in. You can also search by advanced resume as well. And the way those 2 searches look like is you'll get a listing of the different candidates. You can view it by summary or detail. Right now it's summary mode or view, where you can just see just like a quick summary of all of those resumes. But if you go to detail mode, you'll be able to see more information like their resumes and a little bit more about their account. Then our system also has a way you can track applicants. All of these features that we're going to go over, they're optional for you in case you want to utilize them. You don't have to, but they're available for you and at no cost. So once you have a position, a job order, it's back at the same screen. We can either copy it, we can search for those applicants. Here, it tells you how many people have viewed your posting and how many applicants you have. So if you click on the little applicants or the 5, it will give you a list of all of those applicants that will look kind of like this. And once you have those listings, you can go on there and select the status of them. If you hired them, if you didn't hire them, you can also rate them. If they were, exceptional, maybe they weren't suitable. You can do whatever ratings there. And then you can also check if you created or conducted a resume. All of that information is also there. And all of this information is only viewed by you and your staff. So this won't be viewed by the job seekers. For the rating, it'll give you an option if you want to share your rating with other employers, you can check on the box. But if you don't, then you just don't check the box and it will just be, once again, just for you and your staff. You can also add notes on resumes. So once you have that listings, you can view different, like have an overview, see some qualifications, if they have a driver's license. There's a section where if individuals want to put the references, the resume, and then there's a note section, you can just click on add note and add whatever note you would like. Then we also have a piece within IowaWORKS that's called Virtual Recruiter, and it's a really good tool because what that is that Virtual Recruiter allows the system to automatically look for resumes for you, either on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. So let's say you have an opening for a paraeducator or a bus driver or any positions, and you want the system to automatically look for new resumes, you can do that. And how do we do that is once you log into IowaWORKS, on the left-hand column, there's going to be like a menu bar and different options. If you scroll down to recruitment services and then click on Virtual Recruiter, this will be the next screen, and click on create new resume alert. And then you can do whatever alert you want to do. So let's say that you want to, for this example, we did Marshall County, but let's say you can do it either statewide or select by different county and what type of keywords. So like bus driver, teacher, paraeducator, any support staff, whatever occupation, and then it'll give you a listing of all of those resumes. And then there's an option that says save search. You will click on save search so you can save it. And then this is just another example of those resumes that are veterans. They'll have that veteran indicator, that flag. Once you select to save it, it'll have you enter a title, because you can have, as many virtual recruiters as you want. So one could be maybe for, like I said, bus driving, support staff, teacher, and then how often do you want to do it? Do you want to do it daily, weekly, or monthly? And how do you want to be notified? Do you want to get a message through the message center, meaning whenever you log into IowaWORKS, you can check your messages? Or do you want to receive an email as well, or a text message? And then also gives you an opportunity to select, even if there's no resumes found, if you still want to get an email indicating there was no resumes found. And if you want to select an expiration date. So this is a really good tool in case you have many openings, and I know, your HR staff might be super busy, or you as a superintendent or principal, you can set this up. That way you get a listing of those applicants and you can contact them on your behalf. And there's different ways you can contact them. You can either send them an email or send them an internal message through IowaWORKS. We can show you how to do both of those. So let's say that this is one of your applicants from that listing. There's an option that says send this individual a message. If you click that, it will send that individual a message, and that message is pre-populated. So it'll say, we saw your resume via IowaWORKS. We're interested in contacting you or talking to you. And then at the bottom, it'll have your contact information, or you can, set it up to whatever, create whatever message you would like. And if you want to send a message to somebody, but it's not in your applicants, you can do that by also, this will be on the left-hand side once you log into IowaWORKS. If you scroll to the bottom and look under Communication Center, there is a place for Message Center. You will click that and then create new message. And then you'll be able to send a message to whatever job seeker you want. And now we're going to go over some different types of email alerts, how you can get those set up. So once you are on your main profile, so it's your main page once you log in, how Nikki was going over the general profile, there is a section, if you keep scrolling down, that says, please select a method in which you prefer to receive your notifications. And it can either be internal message with email notification, which that's the one that we recommend. Just because there might be times that you are busy and you're not logging into IowaWorks every day. That way you can get an email. If you don't want to receive emails and you just want to see those alerts once you log into IowaWorks, then you can just select the internal message. And you will only view the ones you log into IowaWorks. Or if you only want to receive email, you can do email or text message. And then we have different types of indicators. One of those indicators that we have is home-based Iowa. So if you are an employer that is willing to hire veterans or is veteran friendly, we would, put that indicator on. And how do you get this indicator is you will be in contact with your leaver. It is an individual that will talk to you about different types of services that are available for employers that are veteran friendly. And they'll go over those services with you, and then they'll be able to help you turn on this indicator. And if you don't know who your local veteran individual is, let us, you can contact your BE's, your business engagement consultant, and we can get you connected with your leaver. Then we also have that registered apprenticeship. So if your company or your school district has a registered apprenticeship, you'll have this indicator, and that will indicate to job seekers that you have a registered apprenticeship. And then this one right here, it indicates that your job posting is for the school district or it's an educational job opportunity. Some employers have 3 indicators, so that's great. Some may only have 1 or 2, or some of them don't have any. If you would like to have these indicators turned on, please contact us and we will help you get those added. All the school districts should already have the educational job opportunity indicator. But if you notice that you don't see it when you log in, let us know and we can make sure you have that. Or if you have a registered apprenticeship or are veteran friendly, let us know and we can make sure we add those indicators on and connect you to those individuals that can assist you and give you more one-on-one information on registered apprenticeship and home-based Iowa. And then this is the indicator one more time for veterans. So how you will see if an individual is veteran, you will see that flag, meaning the individual is a veteran. So we have some indicators for schools or businesses, employers, and then we also have indicators for employers. So you can distinguish which one are veterans. So what are those next steps? So just a reminder to update your website. So if your website still has the website to Teach Iowa instead of IowaWORKS, make sure you change that. And if you're not sure what link you want to enter there, you can enter either the IowaWORKS link. Once you log into IowaWORKS or once you go to the homepage, before you log in, you can just copy and paste it. Or what we recommend is entering that tiny URL. So once you sign into your account, how Nikki was demonstrating the different general profile about the company profile, below that, there's that tiny URL. If you copy and paste that to your website, individuals, once they click on your openings or employment opportunities, they'll be able to view all the different openings that you have. And once they click on those links, then they will be prompted to log in so they can apply, or either directly to your website, depending on how you have it set up. You can start using IowaWORKS for all your job postings. If you're not sure how to log in or have any questions, or maybe need more one-on-one assistance, you all have a local business engagement consultant that will be able to help you one-on-one. Today, we just wanted to give you an overview of all the things that IowaWORKS is capable of doing, and also showing you those features and walking you through how to post those job orders. And like we saw on that virtual recruiter, you can start, searching for your next employee using IowaWORKS, whether it's using that virtual recruiter, or if you just want to do some resume mining and look at candidates that way, you can do that as well. And, once again, contact your local business engagement consultant for that one-on-one assistance. And if for some reason your staff or other school districts that were not able to attend today's webinar, the next webinar will be this Thursday. July 13 at 1:30. We usually schedule them to, from 1:30 to 3, just so we can provide enough time for questions. Like today, you'll have plenty of time to answer any questions you may have. If you don't know who your local business engagement consultant is, you can contact our local business engagement consultant line, whether it's via phone or email, and we will answer. Our phone line is answered every Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. And that phone number is 833-469-2967. Or you can send an email to iawworks@iwd.iowa.gov. And we will be able to connect you with your local business engagement consultant. I know there are some questions in the chat that we will go ahead and start answering those questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we'll be able to answer all of those questions. So we'll get started with the chat. Let's see. Okay, so once you log in to IowaWORKS, so this one is this information in the employer dashboard. I think you were asking these questions when Nikki was going over the general profile. So when you log in, you'll have a listings of what you can do next. And either, you can manage your job. So even if you go to manage jobs, you'll be able to get, to that homepage and view your profile that way. Nikki, do you have the UAT that you can pull up example of an employer account that way we can show them where they can go once they log in? So we'll give Nikki some time to pull that up so we can show you live how it looks like. And sometimes it works better once we go live and show you and explain where you can find it. Whenever you're ready, let us know, Nikki.
Okay, I think I'm sharing my screen now.
Yes.
So this is an example of a school dashboard. You may see this little hamburger menu. We call this a hamburger menu up at the top. You can expand that. And when you scroll down, again, it'll depend on how you configure your dashboard once you're in. But there's actually over on the side, if you don't have it on your homepage on your dashboard, there should be over on the side under the hamburger menu a button that says account information. So you can click on that and that will take you to your general information page. So you can see that that's where it takes you once you get to that account information. This again, IowaWORKS offers lots of ways to get to kind of the same place. You can sometimes click these options up here. There's tabs across here, and then again this menu along the side that you can expand once you click on that as well. But this brings you to that general information. I think another question in the chat while I'm here, somebody asked about how do I you see that question, Maria? How do I access the link that will show all of my job postings? And that is towards the bottom. I'm scrolling, but that company profile, this is where you can fill in your company profile information and say a little bit about your school district. But then underneath that is a tiny URL. Every district has a link that has a tiny URL that's automatically assigned. So you can copy this link. You can copy it and paste it. You can click on the link to copy, and that will take you to your summary profile. And it's really going to depend on what you have listed. You can put in your logo for your district here. And then this is all of the job postings that link to that. I think that answers a couple of questions that were in the chat. And then I somebody has asked before, I'll just kind of review that again while I'm here. The company profile, you can type information here, you can use this link, and then this is where you add an image. So if you're wondering, where do I add our logo for our district, this is where you would do that. Any other questions?
One of the question that was on the chat, stated for those jobs that were indexed in, how do we access the applicant information if the jobs are not showing on our job board? So that was actually the question that they were asking. And the answer for that is, so when those applicants or those job postings are indexed in, they would be indexed in however you posted them on your website. So it might say to apply directly to your website online. So then that link will be directly to your website. So that's how you will be able to see your applicants, is if they actually applied. If you like the features that IowaWORKS has, as far as you can see the posting and also see like how many people viewed it and all those applicants, those specific details, then the way around that would be that somebody from your staff would enter those job postings as well as a preferred employer, so you can still have those features. I know some schools have them indexed because they have many jobs coming in every day or on a weekly basis, that it's better if they're indexed in, but they do lose that feature of viewing who applied and, you know, all that listing and rating them and tracking them, because you won't have access to that. And if you really want to do that, you can still enter them and you'll just have your job postings twice. But the way for how to apply will always be the same way, which would be directly to your website or however you indicated once those were indexed in. Let's see, is there a way to remove the ones that were indexed in? Yeah, if you don't want your jobs posting indexed in, then whatever's, it just depends on what source, I guess, it comes from. You would just contact them to stop getting indexed, but it's okay to have them twice. Just, you know, if a job seeker doesn't see it one way, they can see it another way. I guess the only thing that will be different is if they see it via indexed in, then you won't be able to see who all clicked on your link and a listing of those applicants, if you choose to enter them through the preferred method, which would be through the preferred employer. Yeah, so when we switched the jobs over, I know it said automatically, but actually our team was automatically. So, you know, big shout out to all of our business engagement consultant team, because we all worked several hours during work hours and after hours to make sure all your job postings were transferred in. So that was automatic. It wasn't really automatic that the system transferred them. We all transfer those manually. There are some school districts that did request to have their jobs indexed, and those are the ones that are being indexed through whether it's a national labor exchange or due to different sources, which is the job district board or the private job board. So there's different ways. Let's see, any other questions?
So Brandon, you may contact your business engagement consultant and or us, and we can maybe have an offline conversation to explain that a little further. But you should, if you're the primary contact on that account, you should have be able to make any changes and work through your business engagement consultant to do that.
Any other questions? I believe we've answered all the questions on the chat. I'm sure.
Okay, we might be able to give everyone their time back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining our live webinar. We will be sending out an email later today with the recording of the webinar, and then also an employer guide that it can be beneficial for you to have. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact your local business engagement. And if you don't know who that is, you can contact our business engagement line. With the phone number and email address we went over earlier, and we will be able to direct it to the right person. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.